What's up, girl?
How you doing?
See, how you feeling? I like that
Well,
dress.
I needed some help with your birthday.
For some years now, news has been swirling around about the possibility of a breakup in the Harvey family system. Now, Brandi Harvey, the biological daughter of Steve Harvey, has come out to open up about the complexities of her family's life. In her candid and heartfelt account, Brandi opined that the cause of their family's misery is Marjorie, their stepmother. So how true is this assertion? Watch on as we delve deeper into the matter. As we already know, Marjorie is the third wife of Steve Harvey. But before Marjorie came into the picture, Steve tied the knot with Marcia in 1981 while juggling his job as an insurance salesman in Ohio and pursuing his comedy aspirations. Life wasn't always easy for Marcia, as Steve's comedy commitments kept him busy. After 14 years and 2 kids, their relationship faced challenges, fueled by rumors of Steve's infidelity. Eventually, their marriage ended when Marcia was expecting their 3rd child. Amidst the chaos, they separated. Following the rocky marriage, Marcia ventured into publishing, becoming an author with books like Marcia, Thoughts from My Mind, and Marcia, Poems from the Heart. Her work seemingly held stories from her time with Steve, revealing a dark side of their relationship. But hold on, there was more drama. After Steve's first divorce, he married his second wife, Mary Lee Shackelford, a professional makeup artist. Rumors say that their relationship began even before Steve's divorce with Marcia was finalized. They crossed paths in Texas while Steve was pursuing stand-up comedy in 1989, and it was love at first sight. When Mary met Steve, he was going through a tough time due to his career and the loss of his mother.
You know, I used to live in a car, Jimmy. I lived in a car for 3 years at one point.
However, like a good wife, Mary stood by him and helped him escape the trauma. She even left her professional career to be with him as his career took a massive leap. However, after some years, their marriage hit the rocks. They started having some complications, which later led to a divorce in 2005. They had a son, Winton, together. But divorce turned out to be the beginning of another long drama. The journey to their breakup was far from smooth. Reports surface about emails, text messages, and other juicy details that added to the messiness of the situation. In 2011, Mary posted several YouTube videos accusing Steve of leaving her homeless and destitute, turning her son against her, and manipulating the courts. She explicitly claimed that the reason for their divorce was infidelity. One shocking incident she recounted was Marjorie calling their marital home, claiming to be checking up on her application to work at Steve's suit company. Mary also claimed she received a confidential letter from a lady named Terry while at a beauty shop. The letter was meant for Steve, and it detailed their cheating escapades as well as an abortion. But that was not all. She almost lost her life at childbirth due to finding out Steve was cheating on her.
The text messages and the different things that were that I was finding out about.
Nevertheless, she said she wanted to stay with Steve, even after knowing this, because she wanted the family she had worked for and created and wanted a good home for her kids. But despite this, their divorce ensued. Steve evicted her from their house, gained custody of their son, and moved on with Marjorie. Mary wanted some closure, but instead found herself in a challenging legal dispute. However, as time went on, some of Mary's initial allegations didn't stand up in court. Eventually, she received 3 homes, a substantial $1.5 million, and monthly payments of $40,000 for several months as alimony. Meanwhile, it seems that all these years Steve spent moving from Mary to Marjorie and doing everything but reuniting with Marcia, Brandi Harvey, Steve's daughter with Marcia, has carried a heavy burden of anger and disillusionment towards her father, stemming from what she perceives as his abandonment. Brandi Harvey stepped forward to confront her father, Steve Harvey, emotionally addressing the neglect they experienced as his biological children. She spoke about the pain and suffering they endured over the years due to his actions. Her story is deeply troubling, raising questions about Steve's hidden secrets and public image. While speaking to People, Steve shared that Brandi confronted him about the injustices, but now the twins have matured and forgiven him over the years. Years later, they said to me, "Dad, We didn't understand why you left us, but we now know you had to go. You didn't just belong to us. You belong to the world." Steve shared, adding, "That was emotional for me, but they are still pained over missing a childhood with their father, which is evident from Brandi's confrontation." However, while being absent in the lives of his biological children, Steve has been, and still is, a father figure in the lives of Marjorie's 3 children, which he adopted during their marriage, especially her daughter, Lori. Steve Harvey's attention seems to be focused on Lori, leaving the other siblings competing for the crumbs, according to a source. This has caused some jealousy in the blended Harvey clan, most especially regarding Lori, who is the most famous of Steve's children due to her high-profile love life. It is evident by Steve's action that he shows favoritism to Lori over his biological children. He talks about her more than his other kids, which sometimes makes us forget that he has other children aside from Lori.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I think you're fortunate to have him dating your daughter. He did get a lot of attention on Valentine's Day. I'm sure you're aware that he rented out like the whole aquarium or something for your daughter.
Yeah, well, good luck, homie, because, you know, Valentine's come every year. So, I don't know if you know how this works or not, but I don't know how you gonna top that.
While Steve's partiality towards Lori poses an issue, there are other complex factors causing tension in the family. One such claim is that Marjorie has the final say in every matter in the family. While Steve's action in adopting Marjorie's children and treating them well is commendable, the real challenge lies in his unequal treatment between his own kids and Marjorie's, with rumors suggesting Marjorie plays a role in that. The worst of this case remains that Steve absented himself during a significant part of his children's upbringing. His son Broderick revealed their relationship only began at age 16. "I didn't really have my dad full-time in my life until I was 16. 16 years is almost adulthood, showing that Steve's biological children spent their childhoods without a father's presence, whereas their father was a father figure to other children who weren't his. Steve's other biological son, Winton, had a tougher experience. As mentioned earlier, Winton is the son of Mary, the second wife of Steve. After their messy divorce, Mary initially had custody while Steve had visitation rights, but Mary began to express concerns about how Winton was treated during his visits with Steve. She alleged that Steve engaged in physical altercations with Winton, including one incident where he punched Winton so hard in the chest that he lost his breath. At another time, Mary claimed that Winton came home severely bruised after Steve disciplined him for schoolwork, affecting his ability to urinate for days. While it's a good thing to discipline your kids, punching them to the extent that they find it difficult to urinate for days is clearly extreme. Mary contacted the police and provided photographic evidence, but Steve was cleared of any wrongdoing. To further complicate matters, Steve obtained a gag order against Mary, preventing her from ever discussing him again. Steve's relationship with his twins, Carly and Brandi, wasn't good either. He was distant and inactive from their lives after divorcing their mom when they were young. In contrast, Steve was highly involved with Marjorie's kids, particularly Lori. He went on frequent father-daughter dates, discussing topics like dating and boys' stuff, something he never did with his own daughters. One of our annual father-daughter dates was to my favorite Japanese restaurant, and you just started talking to me about guys, and you just told me that you'd always support me, that you'd always be there for me no matter what, and that you love me unconditionally. With Marjorie's kids lacking a father figure, it's sweet that Steve supported Lori, but he should have done the same for his own children. Interestingly, Steve's kids, especially Brandi, believe Marjorie influenced him to abandon them. Back to memory lane. Marjorie has quite an eventful past. She and Steve actually met some years ago when he was still an aspiring comedian, but she wasn't ready for a relationship with him then, reportedly due to his financial struggle. In the meantime, Marjorie went ahead to marry Jim Townsend, a drug dealer who ended up imprisoned. After his arrest, she divorced him and eventually started a new chapter with an undisclosed partner, giving birth to Lori. Interestingly, Marjorie later faced an FBI inquiry linked to Jim's drug activities, although no charges were eventually brought against her. So after spending some time with other men, Marjorie returned to Steve, and by that time, the latter was already making it big as a comedian and TV host. Marjorie entered the marriage with her kids and had Steve adopt them and treat them as his own children. turning him into a bad father to his biological kids. So what is your take on this? Do you think the perception of Steve's biological children is right about Marjorie turning their father against them? Share your opinion with us in the comments section. Thanks for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to this channel and check out our other videos.